Hello, everybody. Albert Raley here, presidential candidate for 2020. In my unprecedented electronic, internet, social media campaign, I'm going to present a series of videos comprising of issues facing our country, as well as questions from you. Foreign policy. I would call up major world leaders and introduce myself. I would also address the UN. I'd like to state that the U.S. wants to get along with every country on our planet, and I wish everyone would feel the same way. If we do have our differences, let's talk about them. After all, we share one planet, and it's shrinking. I would then explore a relationship with other countries and see how we can improve that. Sounds simple? Well, it is. Questions. Deanne from Maryland asks, how do you plan to bring civility to our country? Well, through restoring morals and values, trying to unite the country, and just making our people feel better about themselves and others in our country. Aaron from Texas asks, how do you feel about execution? Well, I think a person should go to trial. If they're found guilty, let them appeal 6 months later, no longer than that. And if they're found guilty again, finally, I think their life ought to be taken. In the case of some person or people that are shooting and killing people in a mass situation, witnessed by many, I don't even think that person ought to get a trial. I think within days he ought to be executed, if there's no doubt. Tammy from Pennsylvania asks, how would you pick your staff? Well, I would go in there and I would keep everybody in place. I want them to be neutral. I just want them to do the job that I ask. And if they don't want to do it, well, then I'll just replace them. They can quit. And I'll ask them to sort of stay and train the next person in line, on procedures and things like that. In closing, I'll be campaigning in this manner about once a week. On Facebook, you can find me on Big Al TV or just Albert Raley. On YouTube, look under Presidential Candidate Albert Raley 2020 or just Albert Raley. I need your signatures showing your support for me. I want you to email to several entities. Here's the statement that I want you to put. I will support and vote for Albert Raley for President of the United States in 2020. I want you to email to 3 different entities. Your respective state board of elections, your Secretary of State or Lieutenant Governor, and me by way of Messenger or Big Al TV site. We'll treat it as a receipt. Now, the emails to these respective people are on the Big Al TV website already. I want you to share this experience with your friends and tell them to share it with their friends. We got to get this thing going, and we need to make it big. All I want is to make your life simple. That's all, and have a great life. Thanks.